Hey, and welcome back to the 7th House Art Studio. Tonight I want to do an acrylic pour, a do-it-yourself acrylic pour on a budget. So, just so you know that doing an acrylic pour does not have to be expensive. So this canvas is a 16 by 20 and it's one I had sitting around. I really don't know how much I paid for it. I believe I got it in a pack of 5 for $10.99 at Michael's. So right there's your first tip. And the colors I'm going to be using is a golden yellow, which has a lot of air bubbles in it. And the consistency that you want, this is going to be the negative space base color. And you want it to be where it's not like water, but it's not real thick. So it just kind of pours off of your popsicle stick. And these popsicle sticks you can get at Dollar Tree. You can get a pack of 100 for $1. And this gold mixture, I mixed 2 different paints. And I mixed this yellow prang that I got at the Dollar Tree. So it's $1 for this whole bottle. And then I mixed it with this Apple Barrel King's Gold. This you can get at Walmart for 50 cents. And then with that paint, oh, I didn't mix, no, that's just mixed with water to thin it out with that consistency. Then the next color, I'm going to try to keep it kind of basic because I don't want a lot of color on this. I just want it to be kind of basic. So the next color I'm going to use is white, and I used the Crafter's Square that you get at the Dollar Tree. So I mixed this with water and the Sargent Art pouring medium that you can get at Dollar Tree as well. So all of these so far is $1. Unfortunately, you can't find a silicone at Dollar Tree. So this is Artist Loft silicone oil. This is about $4 at Michael's. But you do want to use some of that, or you don't have to. Water can make it sell up too. And the next color is black. And that is Rich Art Arcology Premium Acrylic Paint. And this was at the Dollar Tree as well. And I mixed, now these paints that you get at Dollar Tree run a little thin, so you don't need to add a lot of water just to get that consistency where it drips off your popsicle stick, you know, just kind of lightly. Oh, so again, that is Arcology. Is that one, am I saying that right? Whatever, it's at Dollar Tree. And that is mixed with the silicone gel and the Dollar Tree pouring medium as well. Okay, and the gold is the Artisan Tempera paint. And this is at Michael's for Hobby Lobby for $4.99. However, I got this on a 40% off sale. So it was like $3 for this big bottle. And that is mixed with the Dollar Tree pouring medium and the silicone and water as well to get the same consistency. This is actually a little bit thinner than it should be. But anyway, the point is, you don't need to spend a lot of money to do your first acrylic pour. And it also, with all these different brands, it should sell up and lace up pretty good with mixing different brands. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour on the negative space color, that golden yellow. I've got so many bottles of paint here, I don't have room to move my hand. I hope I've mixed up enough. It's looking kind of iffy. So we'll just let that sit there. And another tip is, if you have a bunch of paint on your table, when you're finished and you say, oh boy, that's a big waste of paint, you can scrape it off and put it into a bottle. And if you have just like a little tiny bit left in your bottle that you really don't have enough to do with, can't do anything with it, you can just tip that over, let it drain in your bottle, which is what I've done here. This is my, I don't know, remnant paint, I guess you would call it. And I've scraped it off the table and let little bottles drip into it. I don't want to open it now over top the canvas because it's going to flake off. But it's a kind of a grayish green that what it's turning out to be. So you have all that paint that you did not throw away. Okay. And another tip, the McDonald's cup. You don't have to go out and buy plastic cups. Just keep your McDonald's or whatever plastic cups. Alright, I hope I mixed up enough of this. So let's try to blow it out over. I always like to try to cover the middle first before letting it all blow over the edges. To make sure I have enough to cover the top of the canvas. And I'm aware that the whole canvas is not fitting into the frame of the camera. I just can't put my camera up high enough. So it looks like I did mix up enough. And I don't use any special attachments on my hairdryer, if you can hear me. I just put a piece of tape onto this normal attachment that came with this hairdryer. Okay. And this butane torch was like $15 at Walmart. And you do have to buy the butane for it. And I can't remember how much that was. So you do want to do this to pop the air bubbles. You don't want them popping on their own. That will leave little pits in your painting. If you let your paint sit a little bit for a couple hours, I guess, they will pop on their own while they're sitting in the cup. But I never seem to have patience for that or time. And I probably mixed it up too thin because I'm getting pits here. Sucks. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. So then when that happens, you can scrape it off the table and add more. And just so you know, Dollar Tree does have canvases too. I think the largest they go up to is an 8x10. If you just want to start out and try your hand at this. Okay, so there's our negative space color. And I'm not sure how I want to do this. This is always the hardest part to decide. Excuse me, I'm getting thirsty. What shall I do? I could do a straight line across, but that's kind of boring. Could do a diagonal. Let's see. I don't know. Okay, we're going to go straight across just for simplicity. Whoa, that was a lot. Okay, so there's black. And it helps if you pinch the... I didn't pinch the cup on this one. That's why so much came out. Oh, and these cups These little paper cups you can get at Dollar Tree as well. And remember, black goes a long way. It is overpowering. So if you don't want mostly black on your canvas and your painting, just use it sparingly. Okay, here we go. And you want to torch the air bubbles out of this as well. Okay. I'm really not happy with what that's doing. Guess I mixed it up too thin. Alright, here we go. I'll take the hairdryer and blow the base negative space paint over the black and white and gold. So that's the first step. Oh no, what happened to all the paint? Alright, so now we're going to blow out. Sometimes it looks kind of cool like this. So now we're going to blow it out. Alright, so I lost a lot of color. I have mostly black. And kind of, if you blow it out too much, it will start mudding and just creating a muddy mixture. But what we can do is add a little bit of white. Two different parts. And see how I said black is very strong and dominant. Add a little bit more gold on these white parts. Okay. So I'm not going to take the hairdryer to it again. It'll just mud up. So you want to get your hair out of the way and just blow it with your mouth. I think what's happening is the gold is mixing in with the yellow. There goes my hair in it. Okay. Oh, and I touched the canvas and scraped off the paint. Okay, so what I've done accidentally is I leaned over and wiped off some of the paint with my shirt. So when that happens, you can just wipe it off the table and pat it back up. You know what I didn't do? I didn't get my edges. Okay, so let's make sure I have my sides here. And it should have done this before I put the other colors on, but I didn't. So you just want to touch the sides and make sure you got paint on the sides of the canvas. I'm also getting some, touching up some little spots that did not cover very well. Okay. Now that I have my hand fully yellow, hold on a second. Rinse this off. Alright, so this spot here, I don't want to lean over and blow it with my mouth and scrape it off with my shirt again. So another Dollar Tree find. A bag of 150 straws. So I'm going to take the straw and I'm going to blow this section out here. That way I'm not leaning on it. Okay. Alright, looks pretty good. Oddly enough, I made a little bit of green here, mixing with the everything. And see what I was talking about? See all these cells popping up? I mean, just sitting here watching it, more cells are popping up like crazy. And I think that is mostly to do with different brands of paint. A little spot there, it was bald. Okay, little spot there. And we want to take the butane torch and pop out some more air bubbles. It will also create more cells and lacing. Well, yeah, using different brands is really creating a lot of cells and a lot of lacing. So, on the cheap do-it-yourself acrylic pour, it looks pretty good. I just have a few spots here. I don't know why it does that. It might be the cheap paint. But all you have to do is just touch it with some more paint that's on your finger. Hey, this looks pretty awesome. Okay, so let me bring you down so you can see it. I'm talking about all the cells and all that lacing. Now you can do this. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. Oh, I love this side right here. Look at that. I like how it drips off the sides. Speaking of dripping off the sides, you always want to take a stick or something and just scrape the sides off the drips, because one thing, it's going to look sloppy, and another thing, it's going to keep pulling on your design, so it will change your design. So you just want to take your stick, oh crap, and just scrape off the drips. So do it yourself, inexpensive, on a budget acrylic pour at the Dollar Tree and Walmart. And I will say this, the smaller canvases, it's harder to do this. You definitely want a bigger canvas if you can. The smaller canvases is just too hard, and you just get one big blob all over the whole thing. Or if you do use smaller canvases, you can do what's called a triptych, three different canvases, or even more, and create like a large painting with several small canvases. But I'm not too disappointed in this one. So give it a try, and come back and make a comment and show me what you've created. And I think I'm going to do more of these acrylic pours on a budget, do it yourself. So check back and see what else we can come up with. Again, thanks for joining the 7th House Art Studio. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is very important to us YouTubers. The more subscribers we get, the more chance we have of creating revenue for ourselves for all of our efforts and time. So thanks for joining the 7th House Art Studio, and come back anytime.